Good evening, folks. Welcome. It's Saturday night, and you are zooming live with Northwest Theater Workshop and Theater Vertigo into Bad Citizen Part 2. My name is Wayne Harrell. I am your host for the evening. I've been one of the guys chatting away here. If you've been watching our chat, you guys are talkative tonight. This is good. It's a fun Saturday night. I hope you're having a good time. I wish we were all together in the same place, saying hello to each other, giving hugs and kisses and all that. But, such is life. But we can still do that through chat, and we can do it through live theater, which you are about to experience. As I said, Bad Citizen 2 is a co-production of Northwest Theater Workshop and Theater Vertigo. You are about to see the world premiere of 4 brand new plays written just recently on the theme, what is a bad citizen? What does that mean? Tonight's production will be presented 4 of those plays. Last month, we presented the first 4 of those plays. And so if you saw those and you came back again, thank you. Thank you for having faith in us to come and see the next step in the journey. Just a couple details. First of all, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me? You have the power yourself to control the volume of your own device. So go ahead and get it dialed to a level that you like. Second, can you see me okay? Within Zoom, in the upper right-hand corner, there should be a little button that if you hover over that and you can click on that and you can zoom out to full screen view. We recommend that so you can have the whole panoply of our images coming before you. So you want to go to full screen view, and then also right next to it, you should have the option of gallery view or speaker view. You want gallery view, okay? Gallery view will give you the best look at the design that our director, Sarah Andrews, has laid out so you can see it. And then the last thing is chat. We've been talking about chat. A lot of you have been chatting already. Thank you. Right down in the bottom center of the screen, there's a little cartoon talk box. That's the chat button. If you click on that, and then it'll open up a box to the right, and you can just type in your little message. Before you send it, though, before you hit return, click on that little blue box right there, and it'll say to, and you want to select to all panelists and attendees. Okay, panelists are all us backstage people, and we're talking plenty among ourselves, but the attendees is you, the audience. So make sure you click on attendees so that everybody can see what you have to say. I will turn the chat off during each performance of the play so that that annoying little red box doesn't pop up in the middle of a very dramatic scene. But in between each play, I'll turn it back on. So feel free to shout out, say, hey, congratulations, that was cool, that was nice, I like that, or what was that about? Also, when we're done, there'll be a talk back, and we'll open up the chat again, and we're welcome, and we invite your questions. I will get together with the 4 playwrights, tonight's playwrights, and so you get to meet them and hear what their experience was like, and we'd love to hear what your experience was too, and we'll share that back with the playwrights. All right, so that's all the business. Now it's time for 45 minutes of show. So sit back, please relax, get yourself comfortable, and enjoy Bad Citizen Part 2.
It could entirely be reset today, like right now, and no one knows it well enough.
Right, because Leonte's crew is entirely the Congress and the Senate. And, oh, no one wants to work for an idiot, but then they have no other choice than each other.
And right, if they can't work together, then we're all up a creek.
What creek? There's a plan.
So you think we can use it? I mean, what would it change, really?
It would be an interesting show.
I think any show changes need Vaughn's approval.
Oh, of course, Vaughn's the director.
Alex, thanks for sharing the Facebook post, but it only works if everybody shares and comments.
I may be negligent, foolish, and fearful. In every one of these, no leader free. Speak plainer with me. Let me know my trespass by its own visage.
You know, that line's perfect. We can totally use this play to show that no one will work for an idiot.
Is that what that line means?
How do you not know what your line means? It's preview night.
Speaking
Hey.
of preview night,
I'm trying to figure it out. Thanks, Alex.
What's with the noise? Can you mute yourself? It's real obnoxious.
Well, it helps me focus, but yeah, I guess I can.
Hey, no, you're fine, but quiet. Vaughn's gonna give notes so we can save the day.
right. What?
Save the day?
I have an idea, actually.
I think we should leave the direction to the director, Alex, and maybe you two talk later. Jean, you're muted.
What about saving the day? And what needs saving?
We do. Didn't you get the email?
Why do we need saving?
I sent an email. You can read up later. Fine, though for now, I think we should just focus on Vaughn's notes for
Rent is
tonight.
past due to the point of eviction, and we need to pay it by Monday or get evicted. Not that we can even use the theater.
It would be nice to have one to go back to, though. We're losing the theater.
No. Thanks for reading the email, Alex. But you leave out that there's a plan. Vaughn's notes, fix the show. Kay comes to see it and thinks it's great. And so we sell out this weekend and make rent easy by Monday. And since Kay is in fact
Hey.
coming,
It's a real show when Kay comes.
I didn't get an email.
So notes.
really
Oh,
did.
notes. My.
Vaughn, could we talk? I don't think it would change a lot of things, really, but...
Hey, come on, quiet, everybody. We need to.
Well, I just want the show to be good.
What email?
Well, I saw you sent one in like an
And
hour.
we're putting this all on Kay?
She's a real leader. If we put up a truly great show, she'll tell people, they'll come. You know it. And I know she loves your work, so she'll put us on blast. So we just need Vaughn's notes to fix everything. And
So does anyone smell smoke? I mean, there's an atmosphere about it. I should go check the.
We can't smell where you are. This is Zoom. I mean, come
Yeah,
back quickly.
but we have like 5 minutes. So Sam, if I'm not back in 5 minutes, would you please start the run? Thank you.
do you smell anything? Is it the fires? I think.
It's just another breathing fit. They'll be back. Speaking of...
Wait, Mac. Well, let's talk about the run.
I would love to, but gotta go. Nicotine.
Is this really the time? Come on, you two.
Just give me a second, I promise.
Alex, I can't hear you. No, I can't hear you.
How about
Seriously,
now?
Alex? There, thank you.
You can't make Vaughn get back any faster, or Mac.
Fair. 5 minutes, and then we run it. And hopefully Vaughn will be back before that.
You did just put the entire future of the company on his notes, so
I know, but I think we could get a good run if we all behaved and showed a little restraint.
that sounds entirely doable.
Jean, mute yourself, please.
In a minute. I almost got it. It's like speak plainer to me is to speak truth to power. Well, like me to you saying in a minute.
Just focus, please. Alex, put your phone away.
Hey, if I don't keep up with the news on my phone, I may find out that America is past due on its rent and is about to be evicted.
This wouldn't all be on my shoulders if you paid half as much attention to the company news as the news on your phone.
If it's all on your shoulders, then why are we here?
We're here to rehearse and figure out how to pay the rent.
So, it was not a fire in the kitchen, but I unplugged everything.
Great. Good call. Just in case.
We all know there's no fire, that you're just sniffing around in the corner to avoid giving us notes.
Dean,
No, I thought my entire house was on fire, so I had to reprioritize.
as is your prerogative as the director, to go in a new direction. Like if you decided to have Mac just dressed as Trump and had him exude chased by Bear, but one that had like a sickle and was in Russian garb.
That's Antigonus, the right-hand man. You can't make me Trump.
People change Shakespeare all the time. I mean, the bear could just come back around later.
And we should to keep it relevant.
Hey, no, Vaughn has already directed a good show.
Well, then, deal plainer could be like deal fairly, like honest and upright, you know?
Hey, if the goal is to sell tickets, this is not the way, okay? This is not how
a Drammy is won.
Whistle! Turns out none of your opinions on how to fix the show are the ones we need right now. Turns out we hired someone to direct us. Vaughn, your notes.
Yeah. My notes are that really. Are you sure you don't? We don't smell a fire. We don't smell a fire where you are. Where I am. I should go check on the corner. There's an
Please,
electrical outlet out there.
Vaughn, just tell us what you were going to say at the top of rehearsal.
Well, that's easy. I was just going to say, have a great preview. You've all done a lot of work and great work, and I really appreciate all that you're doing to shape the show up. And I think, I'm going to give you some notes after this particular run is over. But in the meantime, I love what the production is doing, what you're doing, and I'm excited to see what you do with your craft tonight.
Are you sure?
Yeah, these are all very complex humans, and you're bringing yourselves to the roles.
Okay, we
then what does
really
my line
need to
even
get
mean?
out of
I
our
mean,
I know
own
it's a
way
list.
and
We
really
don't
take a
have
swing
to
at
how
this
to
because
treat
that
each
is how
other.
a
That's too
Drammy
easy.
is won.
So Sam, I need to walk away for just 1 minute. Please take care of this.
No, not Sam. We'll end up doing another topless 12th night.
It sold tickets. It kept us open this last year, and I had half as many receipts to file and turn in. Are you still mad? Because it kept us open. It wasn't great art. I know. It was fun and paid our bills. Those have to get paid sometimes. We have to get paid sometimes. And I paid them. A thanks seems fair, and a thanks for all the nights I fall asleep on my keyboard doing all the social media work you all refuse to. I'm done. I'm sorry, Vaughn. I quit. I can't force these people to be a company. I can't save a thing that's already dead.
Of course, leave now. When the water's a little choppy and we're really up a creek. When we're making real art.
You're getting a shot at making real art because of what 12th Night paid for, which has run out because you refuse to follow a plan I put together.
I didn't know that there was a plan or a problem because you can't send an email an hour before rehearsal and call that communication.
I think the run is going to be great. Really.
I think I got it.
If you're going to leave all the paddling to me, you don't get to complain where we end up, especially if you won't get in the boat.
Hey, stop. I figured it out. It's none of us. none of us is free. In the script, we crossed out no one man is free and put in no leader. But Vaughn, could I change it to none of us? Like, it's not just the leader's job to lead. We're all foolish and we all need to be held accountable.
Yeah, Gene. I mean, that's great. I really like that. It fits with the rest of the story. It unifies it very nicely. So thank you.
Thank you. I had to find it, but I knew it was there. I like this production.
Sam, I thought Topless 12th Night was dumb, but it got us through this last year, so thank you.
I bail often. I'm sorry. I'm trying to quit. Honest. Want to run lines over break, Gene? I know it helps you, and I could also use it.
Yes, please. Oh, Sam, sorry about the noise. I can mute myself when not needed.
And Sam, if you need a break, that is fine. I would like for you to, however, to reconsider quitting though and stay with this production. Hmm? Thank you. Gene, from your line, please.
I may be negligent, foolish, and fearful. In every one of these, none of us free. Be plainer with me. Let me know my trespass by its own visage.
And be you blessed for it.
Losers! No greater reward for your years of service. And don't forget to take in the aroma of the smoke they're blowing up your asses about how grateful they are.
Come on, killer.
Well, you didn't help the world. You just followed somebody else's stupid orders.
Shut the fuck up. They're just offering you a hot dog, for Christ's sake.
Well, shit. Now they can all get to go back to their cozy little homes believing they shit ice cream.
Those vets over there are your comrades in arms, so treat them like that. And get your own goddamn home.
But I'd be turning down this cozy getaway my park ranger here has found me. And besides, a home is sacred, Angel. And a screwed up in the head homeless dude would only ruin it.
Yeah, I think you do a home right, killer.
Son of a bitch.
Leave it.
Someone needs to make her and her food bars go away.
I said leave it!
I mean, no one needs that here.
I know you're a good man, so you keep away from her, you hear? Do I make myself clear, soldier?
Yes, sir.
It's my daughter. Couldn't take living with me anymore.
Is that right?
Rather be out here handing out food bars. I gotta head back.
Don't worry, Angel. We got this. Make friends, not war. If you say so. And lame ass advice is more like it. Don't worry, I'm staying away. Yes, sir. Anything you say, sir. Fuck.
Keep it quiet out there.
Hey, no fags are bossing me. And besides, I'm trying to smoke and drink. What do you say to that? What? I don't want your food bars.
Then get.
Can't. Already am. Gotten. Away, that is.
For drinking orange soda?
Truer words. First time I had a sip of one of these, I said to myself, this gorgeous elixir's too good to be true. I was right. The high fructose corn syrup kind of turns me into a raging asshole.
So you don't have a choice but to be a raging asshole.
Well, okay, sure. But you chose to pitch a tent here with those signs on Veterans Day.
I'm a veteran.
I'm not.
And you're a bully.
You don't get to call me that.
Well, you are.
Don't call me a bully.
Is this where you bully me into not calling you a bully?
It's just not cool.
Well, you're bullying me into leaving.
Doesn't mean you gotta call me names.
You just called me a fag.
I know it. It's not like I wanted to. It's just you got me mad and I couldn't stop myself. It's just what you do, you know?
No, I don't know.
No? You had it your way, you'd add bully to each one of these signs. Make friends, not war, bully. No smoking within 10 feet of this sign, bully. Free food bars, bully.
Just go away.
Bully.
But can you just leave, please? I just want to go to bed.
Sure. This is your home? You're feeding people out here from your home? I never would have thought. I just thought you were pulling some childish tantrum to get back at your mom.
Thought I heard her voice.
It was that bad, huh? Living with her in a nice home that you'd rather be out here? You're a good daughter from what she tells me.
No, I'm just a good soldier who lost a best friend trying to hammer him into putting his goddamn rifle together when it was too cold for his hands to work and the bullets were flying.
That or die, so what?
So I didn't help him. He was always there for me, and I didn't help him. You look kind of shaky.
I'm good.
I'm no nutritionist, but I don't think orange dye number 4 is a food group. The food bar's still yours if you want it.
No. And you deserve to be homeless.
I enlisted because Mom pushed me into it.
Are you saying you didn't have a choice to be a raging asshole?
I'm trying not to be one now.
I said no. May Allah reward you in goodness. Somebody taught that to me once. They fed me in their home, and I asked how to say thank you, and that's what I learned.
You know, Mom was the one who brought me here when I was younger, taught me to hand out food bars to the people living in the park, in case you need someone to blame. You never once took my food bars. You don't even look at me. Maybe the ranger here can get you to take one. People used to be super happy to see her.
You gotta go. None of the vets in the park here are glad you're here. They're
What
making
if I
threats.
say no?
It's up to me to make sure people don't hurt each other.
Too late for that.
Hey, stop right there.
Or what? Or what?
That is a person, and you will not pull a person out of their home.
It's okay.
No, it's not. They fed me, and I took their food. They're gonna get slaughtered.
Oh, shit. It's okay. You win. No slaughtering.
What's going on?
They're
Killer.
gonna get slaughtered. How many
Killer.
times do they
Killer.
gotta get slaughtered?
It's me. Angel. Take a seat on the ground, okay?
Yeah.
Breathe.
They fed me, and I took their food.
Give me a pillow.
I can't just drag them out of their homes to be shot.
It's okay. You're with me in the park, okay? No one's getting shot today.
They fed me. I took their food. Yes, sir. Anything you say, sir. Fuck. It was
It's
too good
okay.
to be true. I could have done something. It was too good to be true. Too good to be true.
It's okay. You're okay. No one's getting hurt on your watch. Okay? It's over.
It wasn't enough. Learning that stupid phrase, saying thank you. It wasn't enough.
No.
You were there with him.
Ate the same food with the same family in the same beautiful house. Saw the same heads get blown off. Except he was the one I let down.
Bullshit. It was you there when I got out of the mental hospital. It was you that took care of me, no one else.
I choked.
You think I don't know that?
I just stood there. I couldn't go through with it. Let's get you your drink, okay?
Get that toxic shit away from me.
You were ashamed of doing the right thing?
I failed my team because I couldn't follow orders.
Bullshit.
You stood up for me just now when you thought I was getting, you know? I'm grateful for it. You did good.
No, you cannot. No one gets to thank me, especially not some nice girl.
I kinda just did.
Well, then take it back.
Did you or did you not stand up for me just now? Then suck it up, soldier. Well, do you want me to follow orders or not?
It's just for show. It would make their day.
What's your name?
Killer. They called me Killer.
No, your real name, not the one that defines you like that.
Justin.
Justin, I'm Shira. The tent, my home, is yours. And it's full of food bars. You'd be doing me a favor if you took them.
May Allah reward you in goodness.
So, how'd it go?
Couldn't do it. I just could not do it. You'll have to do it.
What? Me?
Yeah, and it's worse than that. I just had word that a gang's in town, the most violent of them all. We don't have much time.
But
Oh, Clarissa, I am so glad I have you.
why? How is it this time, darling?
Oh, awful. You'd think he'd be getting better with all the practice he's been getting with us.
Well, did he at least say more than 3 words to you this time?
Yep. Tonight he talked his crazy fool head off, saying it's too dangerous and he wants to take us out of here. You know, I actually feel sorry for the man. He's so worn out from mining and then he gives up his precious little nuggets of gold just to be invited in here. And from what I can tell, he's got no family or friends but us.
We are his family now?
I don't know about that, Claire. You and I are family enough. I have been lying to you, though. Every time we've ever gotten together, all he wants to do is talk. I mean, we've never...
Been like bread and butter? That's okay. He's still paying you for your time, right? Not that it buys anything anymore, but it will once we get out of here.
Out of here?
I know I promised I'd stay and fight with you, Mag, but look, all we have are a bunch of good-for-nothing bandits raiding and looting this poor abandoned town, and it just keeps getting worse.
Well, I don't care. This is my mama's house, and I gave her my word I'd take care of it.
Violet didn't exactly give you the best life, Mag.
Mama wanted me to have the stable life. She never did, and giving me this house was the only way she knew how to do that. It was her pot of gold, and now it's mine. Now, I can't believe you're breaking your word to me when we agreed we would beat these thieving monsters sister to sister. If you really cared about me, you'd help me save this house. I ain't going with no stranger like O'Reilly.
But don't you hear that out there? It sounds like a gang. Maybe even the Quincy gang?
The Quincy... Don't be ridiculous, woman. Such a powerful mob wouldn't waste their time on a beat-up old town like this.
Don't be so sure, Meg. There are things we don't always know. Listen, as soon as your mother, Violet, died, your father, O'Reilly, he asked me to come here with him to watch over you.
O'Reilly? No, you nutty woman. My good-for-nothing daddy died years ago. You're lying.
I swear it's the truth. Why would I lie to you?
Oh, so now you're calling my mother a liar. My father's dead.
No, he's not dead.
He's not? Well, then I wish he was for doing what he did to me.
Listen,
He abandoned me when I needed him most.
Listen, we never wanted it to come out this way, but he was so ashamed of his past. He never had the guts to tell you.
And here all this time, you've been acting as if he's just like any other man coming in here for business. What is it the two of you want from me, anyway?
It's not like that, Maggie. It's crazy to stay here.
But this is the only place I've ever known.
We can't live in a lawless town like this.
Well, I don't know. Stop pressuring me, will ya?
But you gotta understand that there's just...
Look, ladies, there's no time to lose. Get your bags and let's go.
I ain't going nowhere with you. There's no proof you're who you claim you are. But if you really cared about me, you'd stay here and fight. Well, I see. Well, get out of this house now, the both of you. Get out of my house!
But we're surrounded, Mag. This is it. Just look out there.
It's like a war
I'm
out
not
there.
going anywhere without you, and then they'll destroy this place too. Now, what are you doing?
If I can't save this place, I'll leave it, but not with you. I can take care of myself.
Don't go alone, Mag.
You're gonna get yourself killed if you walk out that door.
Hurry in and bolt that door back up. We almost lost you there, little Mag. Then I think you fainted or something.
I think I froze up. Thank you.
Oh, I do love you. But there was a bounty on my head, and if they knew you were my daughter, they might have.
And you think I can just forgive you? After all these years? No. I still don't trust either of you, but I don't want to die here alone either. I'll go with you, but only because I have no other choice.
They're here. We gotta go fast.
We'll leave through the cellar door now. Hurry!
So long, Mama.
How do they expect me to pay the late fees when I can't even make the minimum payment? I bet the banks don't pay late fees. Brienne, I thought you paid this one.
Well, I did. I guess the check didn't go through.
You have to tell me these things, Bree. We can't lose this place. Our family left the mortuary for us to take care of after they died. It's my responsibility to make sure it thrives.
But, Rachel, we didn't have any money in the bank. We were going to write a check, open a new account at a different bank, then write a check for that check, but you didn't open the new account.
I thought we'd have enough money by then. I can't open another account. I'm on the list. We just need a little help to get on top of things. Where's Joey? He can open an account in his name.
We couldn't pay him.
He quit. Our one and only embalmer is gone. He's been with the business for years.
We couldn't afford to pay him. And look on the bright side. No severance.
I'm glad Grandma Sue's not here to see we'd let Joe go. That's not right, she'd say. It's not right, Rachel.
Treat your employees like family, she'd say. It's the right thing to do.
She's probably turning in her grave right now. I can hear her voice now. Joe's part of the family, and you never hurt family, Rachel.
I know. Grandma Sue loved having Joe around. I remember calling him Uncle Joe because he felt like family.
It's just nobody's died in months. Everybody's young here. No one's getting sick. Which is freaking crazy because when I heard that parents aren't vaccinating their kids, I said to myself, here comes the payoff. But it's not like that. People are healthier now. Everything's organic. No one smokes. No one drives to work. And that means no accidents. We need people to die because we need the money. Otherwise, the bank will take our property.
I know it's hard, Rachel. Our family didn't prepare us for anything else. All we know is death.
I don't want our family to think we're failures, that we couldn't keep the mortuary alive. They worked so hard for this.
Well, it was easy for them. They had wars, bombings, things that made a killing for the business.
Maybe we can get a bailout. We've been helping the community for years. I'm sure because of our reputation, the bank will help us out.
Well, it seems like that's the right thing for them to do.
It could be a bill collector. Hide.
Guys! I can see you through the window. No, I can still see you through the window. Listen, you have 5 days to resolve your debt, or else the bank will seize the property and you'll be out of business.
But this business has been ours for over 80 years. You can't take it from us. That's not fair. Why can't we get a bailout?
Right. Stupid small business owners, you don't qualify for a bailout. You're not a big business. You don't have any employees, and your industry is dying. Our big business needs bailouts because we fix messes like the one you're in now. Come to the bank when you have the money. It's the only right thing to do.
But what if we can't get the money?
What part of you'll be out of business do you not understand? No money, no mortuary. You have 5 days.
What about the people buried here?
They don't care about the people, Bree. It's not right that the banks can take our property like this, leaving us in financial ruin. It's all about profit with these banks. They're destroying people's lives, and they love it. We've never had a bankruptcy before, but when the big banks screw up, they get a bailout. Only the CEOs get forgiven, and no one goes to jail.
I have an idea. We could rob the bank.
They'd still come out on top. The banks control the interest rates. They'd probably charge higher fees on loans and lower the rates for people who barely have savings. No, we need to do something bigger. It's the banks that need to suffer. If the banks are the ones that put us into this mess, it seems only right that they get us out of it.
Oh, Grandma Sue. I look to you for guidance. Please help us.
Yes, Grandma Sue, don't let your death be in vain. Poor Grandma Sue, all she did was fall into an open grave, and that was the end. What a tragic death.
At least you already had a plot picked out.
Bree, that's it.
Grandma Sue?
It was an accident when she died, right? Accidents happen. A banker could die and it could look like an accident.
You mean kill someone? On accident? To save our mortuary?
I know it sounds awful, but listen.
That's a great idea. I actually have a list of people here who annoy me, and we can just kill them. I have my landlord, my dentist. I even have a few celebrities on here. You know, I just don't care for Elizabeth Moss. Something about her face doesn't do it for me.
Brienne, you can't kill someone because they annoy you or because of their face. That's not right.
Well, what do we do?
I'll forge a deposit, forge some signatures, and we'll slip a little business card in his pocket, and boom, we save our business.
Is this right? We're actually going to kill the banker?
Bree, the bank is going to take our business, the Downer Mortuary. This is your chance to save our family's legacy. Don't you want to do the right thing? We care about our community. We care about our people. They don't. Now, come on, I'll show you how to make it look like an accident. What happened?
Well, I didn't get to see which banker came here, so it was a little hard to figure out.
What did you do?
Well, I made it look like an accident for all of them.
All of them? How many bankers are we talking about?
5.
5? How did you know they were all bankers?
Oh, don't worry, I asked them. They all said yes. One even tried to offer me an auto loan, but the interest was way too high.
Oh my god.
Are you mad?
This is the best thing you could have done. Now we're starting a movement, Bree. Justice for all, revolution. It's about time the banks get what they deserve, and rightfully so. Quick, turn on the news. Let's see if I can get some more information.
5 bankers found dead outside of their office building next to their Mercedes sedans. I am here right now, live, with a detective on the scene. Detective, what is the status of the investigation?
Well, Taylor, all I can tell you is this. We've located a business card in the jacket pocket of the deceased. It says every funeral should be a downer. Not sure what that means yet, but I'm looking into it. And I have a letter here from the CEO that I'd like to share with you now. This is a monumental tragedy for all of us. These were good people. We have a saying here. We treat our employees like family. This isn't right. Anyone who has any information about the death of these 5 bankers will receive a reward from me personally. A debt forgiveness reward.
But detective, what if the person doesn't have a debt with the bank?
You crack me up, Taylor. This is America. Everybody owes the bank something. Everybody.
You're quite right. Thank you, detective. I am Taylor Brownstone reporting live. Now back to you.
Treat their employees like family?
What have we done?
Well, it seems like it's only right that one of us should go to jail for this.
And then the other can claim the money and save the family business. And it will
And
have,
it'll
to be you. Me?
Me?
You are
You're
the one.
who...
Stop
repeating everything I say.
Oh,
I hate when you do this.
Oh my god, this
this
is
is the longest you said the same thing at the exact same time.
Freeze frame,
Freeze frame,
high
high
five. You were the one who committed the crime, Brienne.
This was your idea, Rachel.
I said 1 banker, not 5.
You said this was a movement, a revolution.
And you started it.
Because you wouldn't come with me.
I had to make the deposits, and besides, you don't know the first thing about running this place.
Well, that's what Grandma Sue said about you.
How dare you? I have done everything I can to make this right. This is your chance to help the family business, Bree. Don't you want to help? We can't lose this.
But this doesn't feel right either. You're turning me in so that you get to save the business? That's not fair. That's not treating me like family.
Hello, Downers. This is the detective investigating the death of the 5 bankers. Well, I'm here to ask you a few questions.
Are you going to do the right thing?
I don't know. I don't even know what the right thing is anymore.
Hooray, huzzah, congratulations. Thank you all. Thank you, cast. Thank you, Sarah Andrews, for directing that. Thank you, cast or crew, for bringing it to us. That's Bad Citizen Part 2. The comments are now open. Send out your comments. Meanwhile, I'll be waiting for some of my panelists to show up. I'd like to invite John Servilio, Jonathan Hernandez, Kate Belden, who's been working hard backstage. There she is. Look at that. There's Jonathan Hernandez. We also have Gabrielle Widman, but she's having trouble. We're having technical difficulties, so she may or may not show up. But Gabby, we're thinking of you. Okay, congratulations. Hey, playwrights, how you doing? Go ahead and talk to me. I want to make sure I can hear you. Say something.
Doing well. Hey, what's up, Wayne? Thanks for hosting this. This is awesome.
Doing okay, Wayne. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I hear John and I hear Kate. Guys, look good. Kate, that's a nice underlight there on your chin. It's kind of a nice glow. So tell me, Kate, what's it like being a playwright, but also trying to run the show? What's going through your head when it's going on?
A lot. No, it was, sorry, tonight was actually kind of one of our glitchiest performances thus far. Hopefully nobody out there noticed, but we lost audio on one actor and like their whole mic just died. And they were amazing and got like batteries back in before their next scene. It was awesome. Also, somebody got kicked from the internet entirely just before we opened. So I'm good. Now that
I saw also your mom was struggling to get in. You stopped everything. We got to get mom in the door.
Unfortunately, my audio, or my audio, my brother is a bit of a techie himself, so he was able to get it all sorted, I think. But yeah, no, being a playwright and running a show, it's kind of left brain, right brain. One has to just sit in the back and not pay attention for a minute while you make sure everybody can be seen and heard. And also our director did a fantastic job of delineating when I was what, like when I was technician and when I was playwright. So I knew who to listen to and who to put over to the side and like, don't worry about the tech aspects. That's not your job as the playwright. So that worked out well.
Good. John, I know that John Servilio, you were also in charge of props for this show in the first iteration. Is that correct?
Yep, that is true.
So again, how did you, would you kind of like going back and forth? You're like, oh no, this is the director wants this, but I wrote this. I know what they really needs. I mean, how'd you negotiate?
Yeah, I just had to set my ego aside and just let it be. You know, it's fine. It's good. I mean, the thing that I should expand on that a little bit. So the you know, when somebody says create a prop for a show, you create a prop and it's a great prop and everything like that, and then you bring it to the Zoom platform, and suddenly nothing works the way you think it's going to work. Things don't show up on camera the right way, that kind of thing. So a lot of the things that you thought were going to work just get ditched, and it's really okay. It's just you got to do what works, right?
That's a great answer. Hey, so Jonathan, you were in my place last time around. You got to sit and lead the talks. Now this time you got to sweat through your own plays being produced. How'd that feel?
I definitely did sweat. I think it was like Friday. I noticed, I was like, man, I'm a little sweaty. It's hot in here. But yeah, great work, Wayne, for being the host. It's nice to see you doing this, and a big shout out to the playwrights too, the actors, the technicians. Like, hey, it's so great to be on the other side. I felt like I could take a lean and just watch the magic unfold in front of me. So that was awesome.
Good, it was a lot of fun. I'm seeing some comments come up here. And folks, go ahead and send anything out, any questions you have or all that. I have one to start off with. So way back, this whole process, Bad Citizen process, started like over a year ago when we were challenged as playwrights in Northwest Theater Workshop, of which I was one too. We were said, hey, we're gonna have a little play festival around the theme of Bad Citizen. What does that mean? And so we all went to work. And this was well before COVID struck, before protests for racial equity struck, before forest fires struck. And so all kinds of things that challenge citizenship now were not in our heads at the time of writing. But nonetheless, you know, we were all in it and we dove in and we did our best. So I just want to ask, let's go back to John Servilio. Let's start with you. Kind of what was when you heard Bad Citizen, and I want to write about that. What would you start to spark on, and what drew you to develop the play that you did?
Yeah, well, just in general, I think a good citizen just, I mean, I don't really know what the root of the word citizen is. I think it probably comes from the word city or something, but I imagine that it's about you know, coexisting with other people on the planet, right? And what really drew me was just this concept that there are all these laws in place that are supposed to make us good citizens, and people think that to be a good citizen means that you should abide by the law. But to really truly coexist with other people, you know, it really does go beyond that, like just to be a kind person and to, you know, not fart on the elevator, you know, kind of thing, you know. So you know, just things like that, things that there's no law for, but you know, you really shouldn't do those things in order to be a good person and to coexist with other people on the planet. And so
how'd you make that specific though into a story about a homeless vet?
yeah, so I told Jonathan this on his podcast, which is a great podcast, by the way.
Kaleidoscope Radio.
Kaleidoscope Radio. You should all check it out. But
thanks for the plug.
Yeah. So one thought that came to mind immediately was how, and I just preface this with saying that I'm not a smoker and I'm very sensitive to smoke, and how there are these signs out there saying no smoking within 10 feet of this sign. And for me, I'm like, 10 feet is just not enough, you know. It's like, make it a block or two, you know. So that's one case where I felt like, you know, I know there's a law that says 10 feet, but man, it's like, it's just not enough for me. So kind of like, so in this particular play, I took that to the extreme, and the staging didn't quite work out properly, but in the original script, it was the homeless vet seeing the sign, counting away 10 feet, and then literally blowing the smoke at the tent so that it would affect the pacifist. And so it was more of an act of aggression, right, than just existing around somebody who's smoking. So yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I thought it showed up quite a bit, John, for every character's definition of what was right and wrong, and how often it was doing your best. Like for the pacifist, who we find out is named Shira, the like, I didn't help him was what so upset her. And the park ranger, who we never learned their name, but the mom, we find out it's because she felt like she let her troop down. She didn't do her best. She didn't do all she could. And so it became really clear to me that a citizen, as far as this play was explaining it, was somebody just doing their best to like help those around them, which was lovely.
Thanks. See, Kate knows my play better than I do. That's awesome.
I've been watching it a lot, John.
I know, isn't that crazy? You know, as a writer, you have in your head what you think it's going to be, and you put it all down there on paper, and then all of a sudden everybody's telling you, this is what it is. And you're like, what? That was not my intention. How about you, Jonathan? Did you, is what was delivered, what was up here to begin with? And again, tell me about that spark that brought us to Downer Mortuary.
Yeah, so, and kudos to the actors that were doing the whole thing. So I'm originally from Arizona, and I heard there's not a lot of press that's national that goes out there, but there was something that I read about like a mechanic shop they had a bunch of tires. They bought a bunch of tires, and they were like, we can't sell them. So then they decided to puncture tires in the neighborhood, so that way they could kind of have the people like drive, like, oh my God, my tires. So they go to that shop. And I read about that. They got busted. I read about that, and I was like, man, that's terrible. What if that'd be like a mortuary, like killing people just to do that? And I was like, hey, but I read that story like a long time ago, and then we were given the prompt to do the Bad Citizen. So I'm part of the Northwest Theater Workshop crew, and I'm working on my own full-length play, and I agreed to submit to this. But for the longest time, I guess I thought that I had to think of citizenship in the sense of like, well, when I think of citizen, there's a lot of bureaucracy and paperwork and this piece of paper that defines you, that you're allowed to stay in the United States. And I was like, man, I don't want to write something about that because it just sounded boring to me. And I thought, to be honest, I thought everybody in this group was going to write about something that had to do with like immigration or being here in the U.S. Because I focused more on the word citizenship and thinking like, well, what does that mean? But then in the writer's room with everyone had all these great ideas, and I was like, oh, this is so fascinating, so interesting. And Sarah Andrews, my director, did a lot more research than I did, and she actually discovered that there is a mortuary that did fraudulent things to try to. Now I don't know if they killed people, probably not, maybe, I don't know, but they did do something that illegal to try to increase business in their neighborhood, in their community. And I just thought it's a real thing. So of course mine takes it to this more absurd, extreme way, but yeah, that's where it all stemmed for me, was how can I create something that's very absurd, but also kind of highlights these, I don't know if it is necessarily a bad citizen that does this, or if it's just the desperation of trying to succeed in life or live up to maybe family expectations or things like that. What the weight of what a citizen is required to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So ripped from the headlines and then expanded into something bigger and wilder. By the way, you saw we had a fifth person there join us, and that was Gabrielle. She was like in and out. She was fine.
Yeah, come back, Gabrielle.
Come back again. There she is. It's Gabrielle.
But you're muted, love.
But you're muted. But at least we can see your pretty face. So if you can figure out how to unmute yourself, Gabrielle, we could actually talk to you.
Oh my gosh. It's not one thing, it's another. Can you hear me now?
There you go. All right, you're good. We hear you. We hear you.
All
So
right.
we've just been all sitting around talking about the inspiration, where the inspiration came for the play. You can think about that while I switch to Kate. Kate is now going to answer that question. Kate, how writing about theater, what do you know about theater?
What do I know about theater? Jonathan also asked me this question on a Kaleidoscope, which you should go listen to that podcast. It's very well edited and lovely. But we were given the prompt of bad citizenship, bad citizen, what is that? And I like sat with myself and, what makes a really bad citizen? And while trying to write this play that I had to have a first draft in like the next week, a friend of mine took me to go see a fantastic improv group called Love Shakespeare that improvs in Elizabethan. And I saw them like all chipping in and helping each other out and just being encouraging and supportive. And one of the things I do know is a theater dynamic. Like I know that dynamic pretty well, and I've seen them go south and I've seen them achieve great things. And it's always got to do with that willing to step forward and help. Like it's kind of the do your best. It's kind of the like engage and see what's happening. And also to like reserve judgment and just encourage, like rather than sit back and say, well, we could have done it better if only. But to take the step forward and make it so that you do better. Right. So that was the inspiration and kind of the melting culmination melting pot that had to happen.
Good. Okay. And then so Gabrielle, again, we were charged to write about bad citizen, being a bad citizen, good citizen. What does that mean? How did that bring you to Tonopah?
Well, I have to say, to be honest, I kind of cheated a little bit because I was new to playwriting, mostly beginning playwright, and CG's class and workshop. And so I had the beginning of something and that I thought might work, that I had written for instant playwriting. And I always found it fascinating to think of the idea of people that are working in basically the sex industry, and maybe they were born into it, as the main character in my play is, whose house she's in, and how basically she is maybe considered by society a bad citizen, but yet there is always that push-pull of there's a writing term, just this is somebody who is actually doing something that a lot of people want but would never want to admit it. And it's needed, but also it's considered bad. And so I think that I just kind of liked the idea of working with that, and kind of playing with the controversial aspect of it.
So that's really interesting, Gabrielle, as you share that, because as I'm looking at the other plays, we talk about citizenship, and it's a conflict between my own personal wants and goals, and then how they conflict with kind of the broader society. However, you're from your perspective for your show, it's, well, I'm trying to serve actually the needs of the greater society, but it's conflicting with their preconceptions about what's good or not, which is that's an interesting dichotomy there. I hadn't noticed that within this mix when you look at the plays together. So when I ask everybody, when it comes to it's all when it comes to doing what I want to do, which is kind of what a lot of us wrote from, I think. How do we balance that, our own personal selfish desire with the greater good community on the outside? Did you learn anything from exploring these situations that might help the rest of us go off and make better choices among our community? Anybody care?
That's on you, John. You were the last one to talk.
That's so rude.
I'm just doing my best to step forward and help us progress.
Nice. Well, that's like a conversation over cocktails, Wayne. I mean, geez.
Well, I see Jonathan's drinking already, so, and you were too.
So
okay.
I kind of feel like what I was exploring in my play is here you have this loud, rude person, right? Very obviously abusive, and by the end of the play, hopefully you have some compassion for him and understanding of why he has come to this place in his life, and so I feel like one of the ways that we can be good citizens is, instead of reacting with our gut, somebody cuts you off, somebody, whatever, if you if you just say to yourself, that person's having a bad day, or, oh, you know what, that person just got diagnosed with cancer, whatever you want to imagine in your brain, it might just give you a little more compassion for that person. And instead of, raging back at them, which is just going to feed the anger in the world and the polarization that we're already experiencing, right? You might be able to de-escalate that a little bit, at least within yourself. And if you de-escalate that within yourself and not attack them back, well, you've just, brought that much less anger into the world. And that's that.
Yeah, nice. So compassion, understanding. Gabrielle, was that one of your objectives when you're exploring this?
Yeah, thank you, John, for taking that on. I was just going to basically say about the same thing. I mean, I think it's an excellent question, a very, very challenging question. And I think we're always trying to be compassionate for others in the world, in our society. And it is always challenging to not put ourselves first. John's play was so great because I really think it's so timely with all the homeless and what's happening in Portland and in nationally and probably even the world with COVID and with what's happening economically. And so, yeah, I mean, I think if we can have more compassion, think about the place another person's in, even if they insult us or that's a good place to start. But it will continue to be forever challenging to take yourself out of the picture. You can't, of course, and think of others first. Yeah.
Hey, Kate, so with theater, every time, with every theater production, there's this whole group of strangers that comes together, and by the end of it, they're family. And somewhere along the way, there's a breakthrough, or there's moments, it may happen at once, or it may happen over time, where a lot of compassion and understanding just naturally happens. Your play captures that really well, I think toward the end, too. How did it feel? How did it feel to be able to actually write about that and to show that? And were you satisfied?
Yeah, no, the play, I mean, y'all were sitting next to me as I struggled through that one, but yeah, the things that I thought were important and then got written out and then came back up and then disappeared and then whole characters evaporated. I think it really did settle into that statement of hope. Like everybody kind of recognizes their bad habits and like, I'm working on it, I'm sorry. And they're believed, they're trusted. Well, I mean, hopefully it's the last 30 seconds of the play, so who knows what happens after, but that like just the act of acknowledging and taking a step to repair, like, I apologize, also why don't we, like, how do I step forward? So and seeing it in production, Maya McCarthy, Shira Goldine, and Enrique, oh my gosh, Jenna Katie was amazing. Justin Charles, they gave all of those characters, it's a line in the play, a lot of complexity, and they brought themselves to it, and it's actually kind of hopeful. Like that play is very much my love letter to Portland theater. In that we're all super stretched and working hard, and if we just make that acknowledgement of like, I can get better in these ways, and then actually step forward to do it, like we've got a chance. We're gonna be okay.
Yep, we do. Okay, last question, Jonathan. I'm gonna wrap in with you here. Your play just is a really good. It's very topical right now. You know, commercial people trying to survive. With COVID, especially, people are trying to survive and trying to do anything, and then every once in a while saying, "Oh, am I doing right or not?" Do you have any, as we all struggle with making new moral choices in a different landscape? You got any words of wisdom or exhortations for us, both individually and communally, of what we should do tomorrow?
Yeah, wow, that's heavy. I wrote that about these characters being very what John was saying, like reactive. They're kind of clueless as to like what goes on. They're not really aware of the consequences that will lead to the next thing. There's more of like, what do we gotta do? We're gonna save money. What do we do? Let's do this. Let's go to that. And so you find yourself kind of making a decision, and then another decision, and before you know it, you don't know what the consequences have unfolded. A lot of people in the 2016 election did not vote. They did not take any action, and therefore it created a political shift into what they, whether it's what you believe or not, but it created a separation of unity. And so when I was writing this play, and it was kind of interesting because I wrote this article for Northwest Theater Workshop about like, I'm not really a political type of artist. I don't really deal with social things. I'm more of like existential drama or comedy about breakups and girlfriends and lost loves and shit like that. And this was the one that was like, wow, I'm actually getting into something more contextual and deep. And then the next thing that I'm writing is for Milagros play for the Las Adelitas, which is like about the revolution. And so there's a lot of changes as I'm becoming more mature as a writer. I would just say that I've become more conscious in what's going on in the world. And I think that's really the crutch of it all, or the crucial thing of it all, is to just be conscious, realize and understand that you, as a citizen, any kind of citizen of the world, you have a responsibility. And so it's up to you to be a leader. Do you want to be that leader for good? Do you want to be, do you want to give your responsibilities up to somebody else? Because somebody will happily take that from you. So vote. I love last night's talk back, which was about there's resources out there when it came to the homelessness epidemic, and how you can stand up for your community, whether it's in Portland or all across the world. You're right. We have people who are in Chicago. Angela, shout out. And I'm living here, and I'm hoping to be a leader in my community in any way that I can. So I encourage you all to do the same.
Great. Thank you, Jonathan. That was really well put. We're going to wrap up now. So I want to thank John Servilio, Kate Belden, Jonathan Hernandez, Gabrielle Whitman for your writing and for sharing about it. As Jonathan just said, vote if you're not registered to vote. If you go to our website, www.nwtw.org, there's a little button right there that'll send you to instructions to make sure you register still in the few weeks that are remaining. There's also a donate button on the Northwest Theater Workshop site. And we'd love for you to support our work. Everybody's just doing this for fun and relying on income profit from this. So it's, it's a collective work. And so your reward back to us will help us and encourage us to be able to do this again. And so
donate thousands of dollars to us. So we can get
So that's it. Thank you so much. So many people stayed around and attended. Thank you for your comments throughout the show. Even now, I see lots of thank yous coming up. So you are most welcome. And now the rest of the cast and crew, we're headed off to a Zoom party, our first ever post-show party. I wish we could all join you at the bar down the street. I wish we could join each other at the bar down the street, but we've got our own little Zoom party going on now. So love to all the cast and crew. And thank you again, audience, for joining us. It's been a pleasure. And may you all go off and be good citizens. Take care and good night.